Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to go on studying noun clauses. As you see, we say a main clause and a subordinate clause, or an independent clause as main clause and a dependent clause. So both of them are clause. In short, both of them make up again a sentence that has a message, a complete message in it. Of course, again, because of the main clause and because of the help of the dependent clause. Yes, let's practice them. And of course, considering both past, present, and future forms of them. But I think in this video, we are going to concentrate on the past tenses. Okay. Now, for example, what was it like to meet a proficient and decent architect? It was very nice. It was very logical, and it was a fortunate. Yes, it was a fortune. Sorry, it was a fortune, or it was fortunate that we met a proficient, a competent, and decent, virtuous architect. Okay, now this is step 7, Roman number 4, after nouns, noun clauses in past tenses. Okay. For example, it was a pleasure to talk to such a competent architect, proficient architect. It was a pleasure to talk to such a competent architect. Now, the images say, why hiring a competent architect always proves a good investment? Yeah, because of their competence and caliber and confidence. Yeah. Coaching, second image says coaching, mentoring, or managing something. Okay, to now, not it is, but it was. It was a theory that people would be able to live on the other planets, or it was a good thing, it was a piece of advice, it was a common belief, yeah, it was a fact that people would be able to live on the other planets. 3, it was a common belief that last year, for example, it was a common belief that you had to pour some water on the road after someone had started a journey. Yes, it was a common belief. People used to do something like this, but they don't do such things anymore. Okay. For there was evidence that the lost wallet belonged to your grandmother. There was a chance that you would see the kite festival. Yes, or there was a chance you had a chance last month that you would see the kite festival. There were signs that you would be able to get the job. There were signs that you would be able to get the job. Was there an explanation that there would be an increase in salaries? Was there an explanation that there would be an increase in salaries? 8, Cezmi and Cavidan had the hope that, and there was a hope for them. There was the hope for them that they would have both a house and a car in 4 years' time. Yes, as you can easily see, our job, our purpose is not just to get a general idea, general knowledge, general culture about English, but our job, our purpose is to try to acquire by practicing with lots of sentences connected with lots of situations, and I really advise you to produce that kind of sentences, and even to produce dialogues about them by asking some questions. Yes, for example, we ask questions to the main clause. Okay, we don't ask question to the subordinate clause. Okay. Now our heading is this noun. The noun again. Yes, we studied the present. This page in present tenses, but now it's time to study them in past tenses. Okay. There was an evidence that they were. Okay, this time there was evidence last Sunday that they were guilty. Okay, evidence is important. Evidence, what counts, what matters, to prove something. 10, were there signs that we must slow down? For example, yes, there were signs that we had to slow down. So where is the question? Question is in the main clause. But with the help of the subordinate clause, it has become more beautiful. Okay. They always kept the hope that justice would absolutely prevail against cruelty, like the prevailing warm winds from the south. Do you have a cause? Okay, do you have, this is the question, sorry. Did you, last month, for example, did you have a cause that you believed that you were right? You had to have a belief that your work had been necessary. You had to have a belief that your work had been necessary. Roman number 5, after action verbs in present or future tenses. Yes, you are very familiar with this subject. Okay. Number 1, for example. I think that you are right. Yes, for present situations. Or we can omit that because we use the verb. I think that. Verb that. I think that you are right. I think that you were right. Akif Bey knows that they are harvesting salt. Yes, we don't omit that in adjective. In adjective that phrases. Okay. Akif Bey knows that he could solve the problem yesterday. Akif Bey knows today that he could solve the problem yesterday. Or Akif Bey believes that today, agrees that, knows that, says that, reports that, means that, claims that. These are really beautiful, basic verbs. Okay. That make up the main clause. Okay. For example, you believe as a main clause. You believe it. What is it? It is that Sami can cook the meal and wash the dishes. So you believe that Selami can cook the meal and wash the dishes. Okay. Or you wish that. Okay. You wish that Selami. You wish that Selami can cook the meal or will cook the meal and we will wash the dishes. Okay. Yasemin says that she can have an additional exam. 7, they will prove that they are innocent. They will prove that they are innocent. Do you recognize? Okay, main clause is the verb of the main clause is recognize. Okay, so this is, do you recognize it, for example? Do you recognize? This is the main clause, and question is asked to the main clause because, for example, the connector, we use the question word as a connector in the dependent clauses, in noun clauses, in adjective clauses, or in adverb clauses. They are all dependent clauses. Do you recognize what they are wearing? Not what are they? Yes, I am sure you know it very well. Do you recognize what they are wearing? Okay. Now, subject, verb, that, clause. Think that, believe that, etc. For I think that they will invite you. I believe that they will invite you. I hope that they will invite you. Now let's increase that kind of specific verbs. I suppose that, I point out that, I guess that, I assume that, I speculate that. Okay. They will invite you. Okay. Honesty is the best policy. 10. I believe that you are right. I know that that problem is related to psychology. Experience shows that honesty is the best policy. I understand that the novel has kept you from studying mathematics. I suppose that there will be robots to serve us in 20 years' time, including cars, smart houses, just like smartphones. 15, I guess that television is popular with advertisers most. I suggest that we never wait for future because it is already with us. Experts say that television affects children. 18, scientific studies prove that we should put our studies in the order of importance, like the image on the right. For example, at the bottom, there are the least important things, and in the middle, there are less important, and at the top, there are most important, or there must be the most important studies of us. It is really rational and logical. Roman number 6, after action verbs in past tenses. Like this, I thought that you were right. I thought that you were right last Sunday. I thought that you had been right. Yeah, also possible. The image says, sometimes it takes a wrong turn to get you to the right place. Yeah, it's also possible. 3, the image says, get acquainted with the latest technologies. It is because of this fourth sentence. After a long conversation, in the end, Salih and Melih discovered that they were acquainted with each other. They were not strangers to each other. Okay, the third one. Akif Bey knew that he could solve the problem. Akif Bey knew that. So we can omit that. But if we say Akif Bey was sure that, so we cannot omit in that case. Okay, Akif Bey knew that he could solve the problem. Agreed that, knew that, said that, reported that, meant that. Okay. 5, you believe that Selami could cook the meal and wash the dishes. Yes, Selami believed that, or wished that Selami could cook the meal and wash the dishes. Willed that, wanted that Selami could cook the meal and wash the dishes. Assumed that, speculated that Selami could cook the meal and wash the dishes. 6, Yasemin said that she could have an additional exam last month. They proved that they were innocent. They proved that they were innocent. They proved that they were not guilty. the image says, they all believed they were innocent no matter what they had done. Okay? Before, what they had done previously. Okay, 8. Did you recognize what they were wearing? Okay, subject, verb ing. No, believe. Did you recognize? Did you know? Did you believe? Did you hope? Did you say? Did you feel? Did you agree what they were saying? Did you recognize what they were saying? Or I know that I knew that they were right. I thought that they would invite you. I thought that they would invite you. I believed that they would invite you. So you are invited. Passive. You see the passive structure here? You are invited by us to our happy occasion. Okay. 10. I believe that you were right. It's so simple, so practical, so useful. I believed yesterday that you were right. I knew that that problem was, I knew that that problem was related to psychology. Experience, of course, we can omit the first that. I knew that problem was related to psychology. Experience showed that nobody got their rights by committing crimes. So, to get our rights, we should follow a right path. Committing crime is not a way of getting, having our rights back. I understood that the novel had kept you from studying mathematics, rights and responsibilities. They are really connected with each other. They should be together. If there are rights, there should be responsibilities, or if there are responsibilities, there should be rights. Okay, this is a gift. I will share it on English Acquiring channel. The right purpose is attained by the right path, by means of the right path. Okay, by following the right path, not the wrong. We cannot attain our right purpose by following a wrong path. It's so natural. 14, yesterday I supposed that there would be robots to serve us in Japan. 15, I guessed that television wouldn't affect children so much. Experts said that television would affect children most. 17, scientific studies proved that we should put our studies in the order of importance. It's a fact then, because it was proved by the scientists. Now B, the gift says he was thoughtful. Necati was thoughtful, or Necati was considerate, understanding person. He was a thoughtful person. Okay, B, noun clause beginning with the fact that. The fact that clause is usually used as the subject of a sentence. The fact that he was alone is the subject, worried him very much. He was alone, it worried him very much. The fact that he had almost no acquaintances in that city, this is the subject, was a disadvantage for Millie. The fact that Gökhan was very thoughtful, sociable, and active, this is the subject of the sentence, made it easy to be employed at the first interview. B. The fact that clause is used as the object of a sentence after prepositional phrases like this. Our company is interested in the fact that you have been trying to cultivate yourself both professionally and humanly or humanely. Two, I am sorry for the fact that I am sorry for the fact that I am sorry for. I am sorry for it. Okay. I am sorry for the fact that you lost your mobile phone. The teacher paid no attention to the fact that the pupil had just lost his grandmother, unfortunately. Please, unfortunately, the teacher paid no attention to the children, to the child. Okay. Okay. Please, she should have or he should have considered the situation, psychological situation of the student. Let me read it once more. Unfortunately, the teacher paid no attention to the fact that the pupil had just lost his grandmother. Okay. Please do not hold Najib responsible for the fact that responsible for hold somebody responsible for. Please do not hold Najib responsible for the fact that your bag was opened without your permission and secretly. That clause is more common as object of a sentence if there aren't any propositional phrases. For example, it was announced that the mayor, let me read the explanation once more. That clause is more common, okay? Not the fact that. That clause is more common as object of a sentence if there aren't any prepositional phrases. For example, it was announced that the mayor would distribute some toys to the children. Two, it took me a week to persuade my friend that it wasn't me who had been distributing the leaflets to passerby in Ulus Square. Three, I didn't dispute that parents want their children to be better than them, with A. Okay. Yes. Okay. Did you feel that that child was really in need of guiding? Did you feel, yes, that that child was really in need of guiding? I gathered, I gathered that they were doing something important. Cemile figure out there is a proposition, so we can do it with the fact that Cemile figured out the fact that it would be better to leave before it was dusky. Okay, because there is out. Cemile figured out the fact that it would be better to leave before it was dusky. Okay. Sadık implied that he had been most helpful while crossing the river. 8. Aynur Hanım always claims that her father was the most productive writer and thinker of his age. Now, the fact that you never see that village doesn't mean that you don't love it. However, out of sight, out of heart. So, you should try to see that village. To maintain your love for that village. 10. Were you notified that you had to be at the gate at 10 o'clock sharp? Okay. 11. Cengiz is always reasoning that his friends always find something to complain about. Someone should make him see the reason that he himself complains about something. 12. Cengiz sensed that he had fewer friends than he had had previously. Ragıp's father was trying to reassure him that he would have a better circle of friends at university. Now see non-clause beginning with whether or if. Okay, shall we remember the reported speech? Yes. Let's remember it along with doing these exercises about using noun clauses in this way. For as subject of a sentence, Semih, for example, is the doctor right to say that Pakize will be as right as rain in a few days? It isn't obvious. Okay. Let's go on. See. So, whether the doctor is right isn't obvious. Whether the doctor is right isn't obvious. Whether the doctor is right or not isn't obvious, isn't clear. Whether or not the doctor is right isn't obvious. If the doctor is right, isn't obvious. If the doctor is right or not isn't obvious. But of course, whether or not is preferable. Whether the doctor is right or not isn't obvious. Should I clean it? If the doctor is right. Whether the doctor is right, or not, whether the doctor is right isn't, yes, if is possible here, let's take this if from here and put it there. Whether doctor is right, or we can say if this is possible. If the doctor is right, isn't obvious, but if not, it is not used in this form. Let me clean these two. 1B is possible, but 2B is not preferred. Okay, so it has become like this, and we have gained space. Okay, let me read it once more. Whether or if the doctor is right isn't obvious. Whether the doctor is right or not isn't obvious. Whether or not the doctor is right isn't obvious. Yeah, this is the common usage. I think it is much better now. Okay, let's go on to the other page. Tuğçe and Altu will or shall, so Tuğçe and Altu say together. Shall we serve lahmacun or hamburger? It is unknown. 1. Whether Altu and Tuğçe will serve lahmacun or hamburger is unknown. It is unknown whether Altu and Tuğçe will serve lahmacun or hamburger. Okay. If Altu and Tuğçe will serve lahmacun or hamburger is unknown. Yes, of course, it is not incorrect. Let's leave it here as it is. B is object of a sentence after action verbs in present or future tenses. Is the doctor right to say that Pakize will be as right as rain in a few days? Semih asks this question. Semih asks whether the doctor is right. Yes, okay. Or Semih asks if the doctor is right. Let's put if there as well. Both of them are very common. If or whether. If Number 2, Semih asks whether the doctor is right or not. Semih asks whether or not the doctor is right. Yes, this is this. I think it is word changing into an image. 1A, Semih asked whether the doctor was right yesterday. Semih asked today. Semih asked whether the doctor was right. Semih asked whether the doctor was right or not. Semih asked whether or not the doctor was right. Semih asked if the doctor is right. Semih asked if the doctor is right or not. Semih asked if the doctor was right. Semih asks if the doctor was right or not. Okay, let's leave it. Also possible. But of course, whether or not is more common and acceptable. Grammatically true. Okay. Roman number 2. Will or shall we serve lahmacun or hamburger? Altu and Tuğçe ask this. Okay, they ask this. Altu and Tuğçe ask whether they will serve lahmacun or hamburger. Altu and Tuğçe ask if they will serve lahmacun or hamburger. Altu and Tuğçe ask whether they would serve lahmacun or hamburger. Altu and Tuğçe ask if they would serve lahmacun and hamburger. Yeah, asked. No, Altu and Tuğçe asked if they would serve yesterday. Ask whether they will, okay, if they will. Altu ask whether they would. No, let's clean this one. These are, I think, not correct. Okay. They are okay. The rest are okay. Yes, Altu and Tuğçe ask if they will serve lahmacun or hamburger. After action verbs in past tenses, is the doctor right to say that Pakize will be as right as rain in a few days? Semih asked this question. Semih asked whether the doctor, yes, was right. Okay. Semih asked whether the doctor was right or not. Okay. Semih asked whether or not the doctor was right. Semih asked whether the doctor had been right, also possible. Semih asked whether the doctor had been right or not. Semih asked whether or not the doctor had been right. Yes. Okay. Semih asked if the doctor was right. Okay. Semih asked if the doctor was right. Yeah, with if. If the doctor had been right. If the doctor had been right or not. Yes. It's okay. Roman number 2. Will we serve lahmacun hamburger? Altu and Tuğçe asked this. Altu and Tuğçe asked whether they would serve lahmacun hamburger. Altu and Tuğçe asked if they would serve lahmacun or hamburger. Yes, ask, because of ask will turns into would. Okay, in fact, so simple. This is our quiz. Question 1. Yes, look at the subject. That he was keeping something secret from us. This is the subject. That he was keeping something secret from us was obvious. India. Finally, it was obvious. What was it? That he was keeping something secret from us was obvious. It's necessary that she returned the book to the school library immediately without wasting time. Adjective that. One day, the psychologist took his dog to do therapy session, and to his surprise, the child started stroking and cuddling the dog. Okay, during the therapy. The teacher of English will have to make his students make somebody do something. The teacher of English will have to make his students hand over the term projects in 2 months instead of 3. The last one, it's no use. It's no use doing something. It's no use feeling sorry about a problem which cannot be solved. Instead of being sorry, we should attempt, we should try to solve the problem. We should spend effort. Okay, vocabulary building, time. Distract as a verb, take someone's attraction away from something by making them look at or listen to something else. Make someone stop giving their attention to do something. Attract means the opposite of it, the positive, the approval form as a verb. Make someone interested in something or make them want to take part in something by attracting their attention. Attract somebody to do something means pull, draw someone or something towards them by the qualities they have, especially positive and admirable ones. Stir means as a verb, move slightly, cause something to move slightly. Make circular movements in a liquid, mixing, with an object, agitate, mix, move, set in motion, arouse, awake, stimulate, provoke, incite, affect, emotions. Okay. Nice word. Bilal distracted Yasin from his studies, unfortunately. Who distracted Bilal in class? His friend Jason distracted Bilal in class. Sophisticated, as an adjective, worldly wise, refined, cultured, urbane, not primitive, complex, but not just complex, with wisdom, with fine and refined things. Okay. Intricate, not simple, complicated, of course, not just complicated, complicated with fine things, yes. Subtle things, subtle things, Okay. Muhsin Bey is a sophisticated man whose friends are mostly from the world of literature and art, and fashion. Why is he supposed to have good ideas about social events? Because of his circle of friends. How many sophisticated projects does he have? He has 2 or 3 sophisticated projects. Sophisticated. Okay, get or be peeved at means rather angry, annoyed, irritated, in a bad mood. Okay. Talha left the room because he got peeved at her impolite behavior. Talha left the room because he got peeved at Yasemin's impolite behavior. Why did Jamal leave the room? Jamal left the room because he got peeved at, or he was peeved at Mahmoud's impolite behavior. Temper as a noun, a tendency to become angry. Temper. If Ufuk goes on losing his temper like this, he will easily get her into trouble one day. What do you advise him to do? Of course, everybody advises him to learn to control his temper, to learn not to lose his temper. Keep or maintain or sustain someone's composure. Jamal has lost his composure under the pressure of his task of organizing the meeting. When do you think he will recover his composure or regain his composure again? and become calm, I think it will do it in a few hours. Adapt, adapt means as a verb, adjust to a specific situation, develop new or innovative methods, skills, or tools to make the situation and structure workable. Accustom, acclimate, familiarize, adapt. Jessica always finds it difficult to adapt to a new situation. Do you think she will adapt to her new school in Turkey easily or with difficulty? I think he will adapt to her new school in Turkey easily. Chaos, a state of total confusion with no order. Yes. All the photos were in the correct order. Why did Erhan see them in chaos? Because of his perspective, he saw them in chaos. They were in alphabetic order, weren't they? Yes, they were really in alphabetical or alphabetic order. Who recognized the right order? Sertan recognized the right order. So Sertan didn't see them in chaos. Between chaos and order, there is a process. Okay, be just a storm in a teacup. To be just a storm in a teacup, or just a storm in a teacup. A lot of fuss, about something that is not important. Burhan talked about the lunch as a storm in a teacup. What did they discuss as a storm in a teacup? They discussed football as a storm in a teacup. Who likes the way Burhan fuss over things? Who likes the way Burhan fuss over things? His friend likes the way that Burhan fuss over. Who likes the way Burhan fuss over? Fusses, yeah. Fussy, for example, Toro, who pays attention to the details. Okay. Who likes the way Burhan fusses over things? His friend likes the way that Burhan fusses over things. Fussy. Burhan is a fussy friend. Okay, milestone, landmark, milepost, turning point. Yeah, these are beautiful synonyms for milestone, turning point, milepost. Sally was proud that, adjective that. Sally was proud that she had learned a foreign language because it was a milestone turning point in her career. Sally is the name of a lady. Okay. Did she do what she wanted or what was necessary? Of course, she did what was necessary. Not what she wanted, but what was necessary. Be influenced means be under the influence of or be affected or be controlled. Be controlled by. Let's put be here. Be controlled. Be controlled by. Ali is not influenced by advertising at all. Who is too influenced? Who is too influenced by advertising? Veli is too influenced by advertising. Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope it was useful and helpful to you. So see you next time. I wish you a good day. I also wish you well-being.